Okay, never mind.
Hello, hello, hello. It's the Chatty Patty Polo Talk Show. Hello, hello, hello. It's the Chatty Patty Polo Talk Show.
We will talk about the things that mean so much to you, like going to a restaurant or hanging at the zoo, clothes and sports and funny news, crafts and travel too. Nothing ever scripted, so expect the unexpected.
Hello, hello, hello.
Aloha.
It's the Chatty Patty Polo Talk Show. It's the Chatty Patty Polo Talk Show. It's the Chatty Patty Polo Talk Show.
Hi, and welcome to our show. It's Tuesday, September 15th. I'm Chatty Patty.
I'm Paula Walla.
And our special guest today is from Accurate Estate Services. It's Adam Acey. Welcome, Adam.
Hi, everybody. I'm so honored to be your first guest of this new season.
Yeah, we'd hope to be all in the studio, but things don't always work out the way you want. So we're happy to be Zooming. And Paula's in her garage. Where are you, Adam?
I'm in my basement at home.
And are those all CDs behind you?
They are.
Did you get them at estate sales, or do you
That's about half of them. No, I've had the CD collection for since I started collecting them back in the the mid '80s.
Well, you're a radio guy, so you probably got some for free.
Right, exactly. That is accurate.
How valuable are those CDs?
Well, it's a range like anything. Some are worth some money because they're rare stuff that's out of print. But I would say half of them are worthless to anybody but me. Until we get a big thing that wipes out all the hard drives, and then everybody's going to be coming to me to get their music back.
I sold all my CDs. Hope I don't regret that.
From where?
I just sold them at the CD store, and it was just taking up a lot of space.
Yeah. Well, Adam.
Yeah.
He'll make space.
Yes, that is true.
So tell us about the birth of Accurate Estate Services and what you do there.
Okay. Well, I have been involved in estate sales and garage sales and antiques and buying and selling stuff since I was a kid. 2.5 or so years ago, I lost my job at an ad agency. I'd been there for 20 years, and just decided I didn't want to sit at a desk anymore. And what was it that I was passionate about and enjoyed? And so I gave it a lot of thought. Talked to a lot of friends who had gone through the process of having to have an estate sale. Went through the process myself of liquidating my grandmother's estate, and what I found is that there's a great need out there for estate liquidation services, and as in any business where there's no regulation, anybody can be an estate liquidator. There are, not all companies have their clients' best interest in mind, and that was the most important thing to me, was to be able to offer a service that people could trust.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of people, everybody's so vulnerable at the time of an estate sale,
Right,
you're probably
exactly.
dealing with a death or an illness or something. So, it's good to have someone you can count on. So you probably, it's work by referrals. Like people are like, we got a guy.
Yeah, I don't do any particular advertising of my services. One of the things that's really interesting too, and the way the business has changed, is it used to be that your estate sale clients were typically the children of deceased parents, because the way it used to be is, your parents lived in their house for 50 years, and then moved to heaven. And now it's different. A lot of my clients are the actual seniors who are moving to independent, senior apartments and things, and downsizing. And I find that really the thing I enjoy most about it is because it's a very emotional experience, and it's just overwhelming. And to be able to say to somebody, look, just go ahead and move. You can trust me to take care of all this stuff, because it's just stuff. And to offer that kind of relief to seniors is really why I do it.
They don't stay there when you're selling it, do they? And like, no, don't touch that. They dropped it. Oh my God. They're not there, right? Or can they?
For God's sakes.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't take. Now, that said, I had a recent client who was 96 and he moved to his apartment, but he still drove and he came by quite frequently. But we became actually pretty close, and I really value those relationships. He was very apprehensive about having an estate sale, and by the time it happened, he was all for it, and it was really great.
Well, he liked counting the cash, I bet.
You probably didn't plan on getting so emotionally vested in your clients, did you?
No, I didn't, because I didn't know that many of my clients were going to be the actual seniors rather than family, and it's great. I've always done well with older people.
I should hire you to clean out my house and sell all this stuff.
Hey, you're over 50, Paula. You're
I go to Tahiti finally, sell all this crap.
Oh, what, Paula?
Let me just show one of the items to see. This is a piranha.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of cool.
Paula can't find a taker for it.
Is it real?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of cool.
Where'd you get it?
China.
Look at those teeth.
What does it say on the bottom? Anything?
Nothing. It's got a little sticker. So that's kind of fun.
Is it old? Is it?
I think it's old. Look at that. So I don't know. My husband bought it at a garage sale for $1, but I always thought it was worth more than $1.
Would you throw that away, Adam?
Absolutely not. It's
No.
it's that cool, unique stuff that people want. I would probably sell that somewhere between $20 and $40.
I want to sell it.
Let's go out, man. Paula's buying drinks.
We'll show you things throughout the show.
Okay.
So Adam, on your website, it uses these 3 words: passion, experience, and diligence. Does that describe accurate estate services? Your passion.
I think so. I'm certainly passionate about the work. I enjoy it. I enjoy there's really, I have 2 sort of customers in any given estate, right? It's the people that hire me, and it's the customers that come to buy things. And I want to make a great experience for the person that hired me to liquidate the stuff, and I want my customers to have a great experience in shopping. And that's what I really was concentrating on, and developed a really strong reputation as somebody that people loved coming to my sales because they were so well set up.
Do you buy a bunch of stuff? Because I would be like, I want that.
Well, there is that's sort of one of the ethical dilemmas of being in this business. Is my responsibility is to get the most amount of money for my client for that stuff, and so I don't buy anything. I'm not until the sale's done and it's over. And at that point I might say, I could use, but frankly, for me, it's more practical stuff. Like, I need those portable shelves because I need them for my next sale.
For your next CD collection.
Yeah, right. I've always been a collector. Some would say a hoarder, and my perspective on stuff has changed. My collecting and buying habits have changed a heck of a lot since I've been doing this.
Me too. What about all the leftover stuff? Like, what does it do with it? One of a couple things. Much of it gets donated, and some stuff, gets tossed away, because we don't throw anything away before a sale.
because people will buy anything. And this is the thing I tell clients all the time: don't throw anything away. Don't clean up, please. That's my responsibility. That's why I get a cut of this stuff.
Right.
I did a little bit of research and I found this one headline that said, "Seriously, you're selling that?" And it's like, yes, somebody's
Well,
on it.
even stuff that I may not, I mean, some of these places you get into are so big that I can't get to every room. And I've had people who will come to the counter and say, I found this under a sink, but there's half of this Listerine here. Would you take 50 cents?
No way.
What about all the Christmas stuff? Every time I go to an estate sale, there's like a Christmas room.
Mm-hmm.
Does that even sell?
Yeah, it does. It does. Some of it, and some of it doesn't. What I do is, when there are things that are left over from a sale that were that I think are still sellable, I take those to subsequent sales, or in the case of how I'm doing sales now, which is all online via auction, I'll move that to another auction in a month or so, because you never know. I've had things in auctions that no one looked at, and then I put it in the next one, and I had people bidding against each other.
I like when I go to an estate sale and I go in the basement and there's always a really cool old bar down there.
Yeah.
And there's always a liquor. And what do you do with the liquor? Do you sell the liquor or just drink it?
Can't sell the liquor. If it's potable, I pot it, and if it's not, then I
or throat.
Yeah, exactly. Or I pour it down but people collect those bottles, so pour it out, clean them out, and sell the bottles.
Not like an old whiskey bottle.
What's selling right now? Because I know millennials are into antique dishes and candlesticks and silverware. So what is selling at estate sales?
You're so right, Patty, that stuff is not, for sure.
It's not selling?
Oh my God, you can't give china away or crystal or any of that stuff. Silver plate. I mean, it's just there's zero interest in it.
What about this piece?
What do you want for it? I love him.
It's signed. It's number 787, Italy. Isn't it cool?
It is, and you know what? That's the kind of thing that will sell. It's Italian pottery. It looks like it's Majolica, which is a term for the type of glazing that's done. But the fact that the figure is so unique and interesting is why somebody would buy that. And here's the thing about millennials too. I'm starting to see them more, and so let's talk furniture for a minute.
Oh,
furniture is notoriously difficult to sell unless it's mid-century stuff. No one's interested in any of the really beautiful, high-quality furniture that's in a lot of these estates. And the reason is that for such a long time, the mentality of folks who's buying furniture? People that are moving into their first places. And the mentality was, well, we'll do IKEA, whatever, cheap. It's that sort of disposable kind of mentality. That's starting to shift a little bit. And so some of the younger people that are coming into estate sales are looking for unique pieces of furniture that they can either repurpose or are unique, and like they don't have to have everything match.
You can turn any piece of furniture into a bar.
Yes.
Piece of furniture.
Yes,
I find out at these little stores is they turn everything. Oh, you made it into a bar.
Yeah, if you ever watch Flea Market Flip, everybody makes a bar out of something.
Yeah, I love that show.
I do too.
Lara Spencer, right? I love that show.
What about old bowling balls?
Lawn ornament.
I have two in my yard, but
It is an East Side thing. I see them all over the East Side.
Yeah. You know what else I've seen in some basements that I think is amazing is in the tile floors, like shuffleboard. Actually, yeah, I love that.
Yeah. You don't see that. Like shuffleboard tiles. My neighbors have that. They have bowling pins. Yeah. They have the coolest basement. Like, I'll have to take a picture and send it to you. It's really cool.
So Adam, I imagine that just before an estate sale, that first of all, I'm imagining it's a family event, all hands on deck. You have your kids there setting stuff up, and there's a line on out the door, and you're like, places, everyone, places. Like I imagine it's like Beauty and the Beast with all this, get the silverware, you go over there and put that there. And then what's it like when you open the door and everyone's just like scrambling to get in?
The line, I know that.
Yeah, it's exciting. It really is. It's a blast, and I miss that part of it a lot. But obviously we're not at that point yet. Here's the thing for me about the future of estate sales, because there are people doing estate sales again now, and in homes, and frankly, I could do that. I'm not worried about controlling what happens in the house. The thing that I'm concerned about is that line before we open up, and I don't think it's cool for in a neighborhood to have a bunch of people in a line and a bunch of cars, and just the sort of the used to be kind of fun bedlam that comes with an estate sale is not. I don't like the optics on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been to some where there's a line and they're only letting so many in, and yeah.
What about electronics? What happens, I mean, like with electronics, are people still buying old stuff, or does it end up in the trash?
Old stuff, yes.
What is old?
Anything.
Like boom boxes. What about a boom box?
Yeah, because anything that from like the 80s back, there are guys that love the 70s hi-fi stuff and that high-end sort of thing, and older antiques, vintage electronics, that kind of stuff. But the big 19-inch kind of black stereo kind of stuff, from the 90s on, it ends up getting recycled because nobody wants that big stereo stuff anymore.
Do you end up taking some of that stuff to like maybe Northern Electronics or something to try and sell it to like an electronics store or anything?
They don't want that stuff. No. It all gets recycled, just like all the tube TVs. I mean, yeah. I've carried a lot of those out of places.
Well, people make those into fish tanks and like kitty houses and stuff. I've seen that on Facebook anyway.
Yeah, but not the like 27-inch plastic ones that that everybody had until the TVs got flat. The antique ones, yeah.
What about lunch boxes?
Oh wow, lunch boxes are great.
This was mine as a child.
Oh, that's original?
Yes. And
for one owner, there's only been one owner.
Oh, look what's inside.
A sandwich. Who's that? Oh, Snake, Crackle, and Pop.
And Pop.
Are they finger puppets?
No, they're little wooden things from Kellogg's. And then this guy, I don't know, they're out. Snap, Crackle, Pop, and what? Ouch.
And Curly. Mo.
My husband's from Battle Creek, so we have
Shemp. That would be Shemp, right? The Shemp is the fourth one.
That did not come with the lunchbox, but I have the original thermos.
Hey, that makes
my name and address in it because I used this in kindergarten, and it's pretty sweet.
The thermos, having the thermos with it makes all the difference. Having the thermos takes it from about a $50 thing to about a $150 thing. If it's in great shape.
I'm going to Kohl's.
So what about real versus fake? How much time do you have to spend determining if something is actually real or a copy?
I have to take whatever time it takes. I mean, I have to be able to represent what I'm selling, and I can't always do it. Sometimes I have to bring appraisers or other experts in. There's the internet now, so that makes a load of difference in terms of the ease of doing research. Although I still go back to, I mean, I've got a rack of books on antiques and glass and all that kind of stuff that I still. For me, it's easier to see it in a book than trying to see it on a screen.
It's just a shame that no matter how creative you get or how interesting you think your job's going to be, it all comes down to staring at the computer screen many hours a day. Everything has to be on the stupid computer.
Yeah, but you know what? For me, the thing that I love most about this is that I learn something truly every day because everybody has different weird stuff, and then it's always a collection. So, you go into a place and it's the people that collected alarm clocks, and now I got to become an alarm clock expert.
One of the things somebody gave to me and I cherish is I got a set of about 12 different menus from the original Hudsons in the 40s.
Oh, wow.
Each cover is different and a true work of art. And what would something like that go for?
That's hard to say.
They're in mint condition. They're
Okay,
really
yeah, conditions everything. Scarcity means a lot as well, and certainly whether it's something that's desirable. And Detroit stuff, Hudson stuff, very desirable. Offhand, but whomever gave them to you isn't the only person that had them. So, off the top of my head, hard to say on that, but they could be worth. And because you have a set, it could be maybe $100 set.
Oh, I'm really going to Kohl's now.
I could see framing them. That would be something cool.
I did for a while. I have like 12 of them, and each cover is completely different painting of a flower. They're beautiful menus.
Wow. And they all have the Maurice salad, I assume?
Yep.
Wow.
And the prices are like 15 cents for a sandwich, and
Well,
I got a lot of old crap in my house.
So Adam, you're a radio guy, right? You accidentally fell into advertising. Talk a little bit about your radio days. Where were you on the air?
My first radio gig was at Oakland Community College's Orchard Ridge campus, WORB. 10 watts of mono power kicking out, and it pretty much covered the parking lot.
10 watts.
What's interesting about that, though, is the person that got me into radio is John Mosier, who's at WDET now.
Yeah.
John and I met. He was DJing at the community house in Birmingham, and he's I think about a year older than I am. And he said, over the summer, so I was in high school. He said, over the summer they let anybody DJ on this Oak Community College station, so you should, come and do it. So that's sort of how I got started. I went to East Lansing and was studying communications, and not loving school. But so I did a few other things. I was selling stereos for a while and bartending, but then the radio bug got back to me. So I started as an intern at the classic rock station in Lansing and worked my way up to promotions director, and then I was in Ann Arbor at WIQB for about 4 years.
And who would have thought you would be at Accurate Estate Services planning estate sales?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you, a story that I tell on my website that my mom likes to recount is, I think it was 9 years old, and we lived out in Davisburg, which back then was really nowhere. I mean, even now, nobody knows. Yeah. And she said, somebody came to the door and said, "We're here for the sale." And she said, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm having a garage sale today."
I forgot.
or a yard sale. Yeah. So it's been in my blood.
In your blood.
Mission, yeah.
What do your kids think of it? Because you mentioned you have teenagers or preteens, and they probably are like, "Oh, I want that," and you're like, "No."
They've been with me enough that they get that having too much stuff is really not that cool. I mean, if there's something neat and and they are really into it, we'll wait and see if it's still there at the end of the sale, then we buy it. But they recognize that I'm enjoying what I'm doing a lot more than I was before, and they appreciate that.
So how does an online sale work? I mean, you're doing them all online. Do you post them to a site and then price it, and the first one that bids gets it? I mean,
Actually, it's online auctions that are, think of them much like an eBay auction, where the stuff will be up for, let's say, a week. So it's listed. You can bid anytime. You can put in your bid and say, I'll pay up to whatever, and then the lots start closing at a specific time. Again, just like eBay, but the difference is we do what's called a soft close. So just like a live auction, if people are bidding at the end, it'll keep adding time until the high bidder has been sitting there at that bid for a couple minutes, and then it'll say, okay, it's closed at this price.
Well, how can people find you and your sales?
AccurateEstateServices.com, and there'll be a button there that'll take to the current auction. There's one right now that's closing tomorrow, and then I've got another one that's coming up.
so you probably make more money by doing it this way, because when you go to an estate sale, there's a price, you buy it, boom.
It's interesting because I've had things with an auction format. People get excited about things, and I've had stuff sell in the auction for 3 times what I would have priced it for in an estate sale, because there were 3 or 4 people that were really into it and were bidding against each other.
Interesting.
Are people from far away bidding on stuff?
That's the other thing, is I can ship, if it's not a big piece of furniture or something, I can ship stuff anywhere, and that's what's happening.
Maybe I'll put my fish on my page for $10 and see if I get 20.
I'll sell it for you. I'll put it in an auction just to, but I get my piece.
I know. I like the fish.
I do too.
I'll show you.
Where do you keep it, Paula? Where do you keep it?
In the kitchen.
Obviously. Where else would you keep it?
Those are some big teeth.
So I guess what's the best find that you've ever come across that was the biggest treasure?
Oh boy.
Guitars.
Here's the thing: is with estate sales, usually much of the really amazing stuff has been given away, taken by family, put in something. Now, when I used to buy storage lockers, which was just as a hobby before, that's when I found some stuff.
Hey, that's another episode.
Yeah.
I'm calling you after the show. I want to go to the store. I want to buy a storage locker.
Well, Adam, it's been great talking to you. Unfortunately, our time is up. And if you want to contact Adam, visit AccurateEstateServices.com, right?
Going there.
And thank you so much, Adam, for joining us.
Oh my gosh,
today.
thank you so much. It was really, like I said, it's an honor to be on the show, and I'll come back anytime.
Wait, the poem. It's called Fleas.
Go.
Adam had 'em.
Adam had 'em. All right.
Minimalist poetry. I like it.
And that's another episode of the Chatty Patty
Walla Walla
Talk Show.
Hello. It's the Chatty Patty Walla Walla Talk Show. Hello. It's the Chatty Patty Walla Walla Talk Show.
We will talk about the things that mean so much to you, like going to a restaurant or hanging at the zoo, clothes and sports and funny news, crafts and travel too. Nothing ever scripted, so expect the unexpected.
Hello. It's the Chatty Patty Walla Walla Talk Show. It's the Chatty Patty Walla Walla Talk Show.